This episode is dedicated to the late, great Don Erickson, who most of the gnome community and mining community referred to as Diesel Don. Don was one of the 10 people who were lost on the Bering Air plane crash on February 6th. It's not just a deep emotional loss, but it's a real tangible loss of hardworking individuals who keep these towns running. Our prayers go out to their children, their spouses, their friends, and their families. I'm just going to speak briefly about Don because he was the only one on the flight that I knew and could call a friend. I've known Don since I put my boat in the water that first year, so over a decade. He is an absolute genius when it comes to motors, diesel motors, of course, being Diesel Don. And he was always on call and ready to help me when I had a problem, of which I had many over the years. Some were difficult to diagnose and some were very obvious and easy, but Don never made me feel too bad about having to call him and him having to explain something that ended up being pretty simple. He basically helped keep the mining operation alive. So for example, in this episode, we're gonna call Don and get his help diagnosing a problem with our diesel motor, and you'll see how generous he was with his time. He was an Army vet and a truly skilled and knowledgeable mechanic, and he kept many things in the town of Nome running, not just mining dredges, but school buses, city vehicles, and probably most of the diesel trucks around town. Not only that, but during the ice season, he would always be driving some crazy, like World War II vehicle he'd resurrected around and towing ice operations to and from the shore. So in honor of Don's memory, we are donating the proceeds of the sponsorship of this episode to the families of the victims. If you would like to contribute, you'll find the links in the description of this episode. I just would like to say a farewell to Don. He's been such a pillar in my mining career, and he was a good guy. So my heart goes out to his children and his family members who are most affected, but we'll miss you, Don.
Yeah. I got about an hour and a half, and Alex just got about an hour. It's cold.
It's so cold down there.
No, because we have that thing right there, but your body's not staying warm. Hands are burning up, feet are burning up.
But like,
your mid is
Alex is shivering after an hour. He's in there just shaking.
Well, we're like painting a picture here, It's like this, this curve is just good gold, good gold, good gold, good gold. Somebody gets in here.
Dude, you're freaking shiver. You guys have nothing else to talk about how freaking cold it is now. So I think what we need to do to survive this situation is we got to restrict the hand flow.
We try getting more to the chest.
Somehow open up the chest flow. I remember doing all kinds of these ones right here. I was nipping holes in here to try to get some water down in this region, and then we ended up patching it up for some reason. We're just like, we don't need it anymore or something.
When I was down there, I would like put the nozzle down and it would suck everything up, and there'd be like 20 pieces still stuck, and I'm just like,
that is, that was what
there was like
yesterday.
A lot of gold stuck on the ground. So
that was yesterday for me.
So I hope it's in there
tonight.
That was right now.
On ours there is.
Yeah, there's a few up there.
It's just from this house. Yeah, little pile starting to pile up. Those are fun. Yeah, those little glovers. I like this one.
They're cool.
I like this one the best right there.
The one you found?
No, this one.
The rounded one.
Chunky gold.
It's just thick and shiny. This one I'm calling my cornflake. Kind of looks like a rabbit or a llama.
That stayed. I had to.
Yeah, it kind of does.
Bring up.
It's kind of neat.
That got to like.
Yeah. I think these guys should get out of here. Absolutely. 6 o'clock on your shift. Yeah, 5 hours.
Well, what are you gonna do? You gonna stick around? Fix your butt off?
I'm not sure yet.
The heat's good here.
Waiting here and warm
he'll
up
be
a
fine
little
in
bit.
here. It's like cooking, and that's only on 8, so you can cook up to 10 if you want to really.
Yeah, I guess I'll hang out for now.
Sounds good.
Yeah.
Yeah, we're gonna bust out, try to get some food and sleep, and be ready for tonight.
You gotta fix it with what you got. We're plugging this with a Sharpie Okay, that's going to be our plugger. And then we're going to use this pump as a coupler. And then we're going to use this pressure gauge from here to here as a coupler. We're going to take some hot water from the Cummins and we're going to point it at our well pump, because our well pump is sucking up freezing cold water, heating it up and dumping it on the diver. It's still too cold. So we're going to give the pump some warm water to boost the temperature for our divers, because they're all getting shivering. And they can only be in the water for 90 minutes before they're too cold to come out. We had this super cold water come in last night. So you got to do what you got to do. So we're hoping to get warm water coming away from our diesel engine and come out here and just let it feed into our main intake. It goes in here and that'll give it some cold ocean water and some warmer ocean water. And then this goes up, gets heated in our boiler, sent down to the diver, and he goes, ooh, yeah, give me that. Yeah, 101. Yeah, it feels good. Let's do it like that. So the hot water is gonna go into those holes. I get to do this for a living. Not bad.
No more worries, right?
No more worries. Our own spa. Jeez, that feels great.
Nothing like a cold plunge before a cold plunge.
Well, so now I have to wrestle this black octopus and get in there. You can get your fingers warm off it. Hurry up, Dave. Are you supposed to? My water. Look at that, huh? Pretty good setup.
David, you copy?
Yeah, Roger, can you hear me?
Yeah, I can. Is it making really annoying, weird crackling noises?
No, it's clear.
It's clear. That's great news.
So our pump stopped working. Why is that?
Oh, is this where the water goes?
That's the warm water. I figure that's
from the Cummins.
So let's.
Oh, for sure. This is sucking air or something. That's got to be doing it for sure.
Yeah, because there's no reason for this thing not to work. So let's just. All we got to do to get rid of that is just a couple of pieces of tape here, and that just becomes the old water dump. That was a
Dude, that was a close call on getting scorched.
And we just had another steam blast. A good thing it wasn't connected to me.
Well,
There's no way
luckily,
you could know that
luckily
this
you noticed your water flow stopped.
Barely.
You
I was
unplugged.
like, I feel kind of cold. I wonder if I have water, and I popped it. I was like, I don't. I mean, if it happened, just like if I'm going along, like I feel cold, maybe it's nothing. Coulda.
Yeah. Yeah, that.
But it wasn't a unkink. It was well pumped,
right.
Stopped working because of our introducing more hot water to the pump. We put bubbles into it. That's our theory.
Oh.
And then the bubbles were making the pump not work because it can't suck air. Meanwhile, our microphone stopped working. So we're gonna pull it out and put it in a different one. I'm getting colder. Something is with the turbo. Did you hear that? I heard a hiss. It could be full of water, maybe.
Is it possible?
It's just a little bit low.
Did a bunch of black smoke just come out?
Exactly what Cummins is doing. Probably oil in there or something. So this is a Gordon job. We have an extra turbo.
Okay.
We can just hear that. Watch.
Alright, thanks. Bye. I'm just gonna try Diesel Don. He might be up for a visit.
Diesel Don?
Yeah.
Yeah, why not? He's your man. He's helped me before.
It's like it's just like it speaks to me through my fingertips. You know? I'm starting to feel like we should bring the dredge in.
Well,
It's closer to Diesel Don, it's closer to the store. I gotta order stuff.
I'm fine with it.
We have like things that we kind of need to do, and we're not diving right now.
And they're not the kind of things where you're like, oh, bring more snacks. It's more like we need to make major adjustments on our all the hoses and stuff. It's just coupling to coupling to coupling, and we need to just get some hose, get set up our ball valves, and like so we can kind of put it back the way it was. We're gonna be running to the store for little things here and there.
Yeah,
I'm fine with it. I know that if everything was perfect, maybe I could have got a 90-minute dive right before hypothermia set in, just like you. You know?
Yeah, maybe.
I'd be like, I'm not coming up until I beat 90 minutes. Blue lips.
Look at the detail on this. It's the flying Alaskan flag, the anchors, the outboards, the buoys. I mean, it's just everything. It's incredible. I'm excited to announce an exclusive 1-ounce silver round from JM Bullion. We have the Bering Sea Pater logo on the front of the coin, plated in real gold, and the most amazingly detailed shot of the Eroica in the back of the coin. It's now for sale exclusively at jmbullion.com/Emily, along with gold from our sluice box. We work with JM Bullion because they're one of America's largest online precious metal retailers. Even though we're all about the gold in our business, over a decade ago, I invested in 100-ounce silver bars, and as long as I don't forget where I've put them, they're easy to store and they're great value. JM Bullion has over 2,000 silver products in stock that you can check out today. They've sold over $11 billion in precious metals. And they have over 375,000 reviews with an average 4.8 out of 5-star rating. So if you love our show, go buy some Eroica silver rounds at jmbullion.com/Emily and check out the other silver products they have while you're there. They're super cool. And now, back to the show.
Turbos just don't go out. A lot of people sit there, oh, my turbos are wore out. Well, the spinning, well, it's got to be wore out. No. If you're not making boost pressure and you're getting excessive smoke and that turbo's tight and the end play is good, the turbo's not wore out. They only wear out when a bearing fails.
Well, what else? Was there anything besides just a loud noise and smoke coming out?
We may have lost power for a little bit.
Yeah,
low power.
Low power on the pump.
Yeah, so I'm guessing that you seized a bearing in it. So you take that boot off, I bet you can't spin the turbo around. Okay. If the turbo spins and you don't have excessive end play on it, then the next thing you're going to look for is you're going to look for a leak in the induction system, which is somewhere on the high pressure side of that turbocharger to your intake manifold. You know, a blown boot on the boost tube or something like that.
Roger. Well, it spins good, feels good, bearing's good.
Bearing's good? Okay. So in that case, you got to start. You got to start looking at everything on the boost side of that turbo, your boots and stuff like that.
Hey Don, there's a
one closer to the exhaust.
There's one closer to the exhaust and one further away from the exhaust. There's two wheels here.
No, there's one wheel that's on the exhaust and one wheel that's on the intake.
Gotcha. Okay, so the intake one is okay. So we got to check the other one too. Make sure that's. See what's up with that one.
They're on a common shaft. If one spins, the other spins.
Oh, okay.
If
I knew
the shaft breaks,
Dan, I told you.
If the shaft breaks, you'll grab that thing and it'll walk around in your hands and be hitting the housing. I would start looking at your boost tubes. You've probably got a boot on one of the boost tubes that blew off or blew out.
Okay.
Should be a blast of air coming out of it under load.
Oh, you'll feel a blast of air coming out of it. You know, and the last place to look is right where the intake's bolted, or right where you got the top of the intake bolted to the intake. You can look for blowing out gaskets there too.
Like, oh, where it attaches to the rusty one?
Yeah, you got like 13 bolts around the top of the intake manifold.
Yeah, we're inspecting that. I think I see something. Right on those 13 bolts, there's an area that looks kind of black stuff.
That's probably a good idea that you probably blew a chunk out of the gasket. You can start it up, put it under load, stick your finger there, and pour some water on it. And if it blows the water right away, you know that's where your leak's at.
Well, this is so obvious. Something's broken here. Either the elbow's broken or the clamp or both. And it's obvious that's been a problem because look at this. This has been just like moving ever since last year. The blowout is like between the clamp and the elbow right here. It's after the turbo. So in theory you shouldn't lose power. This might even kind of fix it. If it doesn't, we're just kind of blowing exhaust on the deck, but we can still operate.
Here's our water tanks that our hot water will feed it into one of these tanks. That'll feed it into the other tank, and then that's what goes down to the diver. The idea is that these two will receive that blast of steam before the diver does, and it should cool it down, or at least give the diver some time, like, yeah, it's getting hot, and then the diver can disconnect their hot water. And if it is the same situation, the diver will be able to actually see all of that orange, rusty, black, sludgy stuff come out of their hot water supply that would have went into their suit. So it's kind of just buying us time is the idea. But that's better than nothing, because the alternative is potentially a trip to the hospital and no diving for the rest of the year. How's the gold?
Gold's pretty good. Could be 1 ounce an hour. Definitely some pockets, you know, all these little piles.
Got a rock jam. I can't see it up in the jet and flare. And Dan's making his way up and down the hose and he can't find it either, so we're not really sure right now. More than likely at the coupler, right?
Yeah, I guess so. That's what I'm banging on. You know, it could be in the green hose. Might as well start it up.
Roger. You want to try to throttle up?
Yeah, throttling up.
All right, what time is it?
He likes what he sees, though.
10:50 to 11:07. There's almost 20-minute rock jam.
Well, I'm super hot gold right now.
Right on, baby.
Yeah,
We got to make up that time.
I know. Don't take.
You said it's good gold down here?
So, in between where we started and now, I mean, that would be cool to work right back to that same spot.
My finger root nail. That bellicle's pulling on me pretty hard. I wonder if that's fixing it. It's definitely too cold down here. Turn it up.
Hit the ball valve a little bit.
You're gonna hit the ball valve a little bit?
Yeah, Roger, close that a bit.
Yeah, just do what you gotta do. Feels pretty good. Not good enough that I'm committed to one spot. Still seeing, I'm not exactly in a boulder field, but that's fine too, you know.
Hey, as long as there's gold.
Yeah, the material I'm working right here is exactly the same as before we tried to enter. Piles of gold.
Dang, it's nice up here. There's a lot more adventures down there. This is definitely wrestling that thing around.
Oh, the waves have calmed down a little bit. It was
Yeah.
it was quite breezy.
Did it? Yeah.
Yeah, we had a really strong south wind.
Alex, take off.
Yeah.
Pretty awesome gold. It's like clay, waves of all this little pea gravel.
Mm-hmm.
On that clay, they'll be like, yeah, maybe some. And then you get to these rocky areas that it sucks up and goes down to kind of like sometimes like a little ditch, sometimes only a little. And that's where it was awesome gold.
Mm-hmm.
So wherever there was like rocks that were, there'd be areas where the rocks are stuck in the clay more focused, like lots of little rocks, you know?
Mm-hmm.
That's where the gold was. So we should take a peek. See if we found anything. Completely loaded with sand. Great. If you want to run it, that'd be fine. Just haul up the, you know what I'm saying? Haul up the orange hook.
Clean it out a little
10
bit.
feet off the ground, just run it. Just to clean that out. And then we'll look at it again.
All right.
Because if it doesn't clean out, then we've got issues. Well, hopefully that cleaned it out. It really is not cleaning it up. We got a million rocks. Look at that. This thing is completely
Chock
closed. And look
full.
at this. So we've got to deal with that.
Yeah.
Because our sleep lock is not even working. Little something. There. Okay.
Posse go.
We found gold.
We done found it.
Hey, we found gold. Look at that. We done struck it rich.
We done got rich.
We done diddly done.
Let me tell you about my friends Augie and Betty at AKAU Gold Resort. A few decades ago, Augie's family acquired the gold claims at Anvil Creek in the very heart of the Nome Gold Rush. Not many people know this, but 5 out of 10 of the largest gold nuggets ever found in Alaska were found in Anvil Creek. After a few decades of mining there, Augie and Betty, his mom, decided to turn it into this amazing gold mining adventure camp. There are 3 things that are unique about AKAU. 1, and most importantly, there's actually gold there. AKAU provides all the equipment, high bankers, metal detectors, dredges, and you keep all the gold that you find.
That's incredible.
2, it's actually comfortable and the food is really good, which is exceedingly rare in Nome. And 3, you're only 15 minutes away from town. You're not way out in the bush. So you can go to the bar, have a beer, maybe meet your favorite gold miners from the show, obviously me. You can go fishing, go see some really cool cultural sites, or you can just cruise the coast of the Bering Sea in a side-by-side. I'm hosting a trip there again in 2025, where you can get an exclusive behind-the-scenes tour of the dredge, meet our crew, and we'll come and hang out with you guys at the camp. It's a week-long trip, and the dates that are available are on the screen right now. So go to emilysalaska.com to learn more and get your spot locked up because they're filling fast. And I can't wait to see you guys there.
Okay, we're just getting into it.
Some more panning.
This dive has 7 hours on it. This magnet pulls out all the magnetic stuff. Look at that. That is magnetic.
This is not on 40 feet though. This is 32 feet.
The magnet pulls it out.
Oh, crazy. 32 feet to 35 feet.
Let's see how much gold we found there.
This kind of tells us if we should go shallower and just hammer some hours, or if we're doing good at 40. It's kind of we're testing it right now.
How much gold it is.
Let's just get this dry and wait.
That looks pretty good, actually. It's so hard to tell, though. I feel like some gold weighs more than other gold. Nope, not true.
Not bad for a day's work. Still steamy in there. Keep cooking.
Mosquitoes are like dragons. Alright.
Okay. In 7 hours of diving in the ocean, we found $106 grams.
Which is 3.41 ounces.
That's not good enough.
That's not
we
good.
have to do better than that. I mean, how cool it is to get 3.5 ounces, but
Not in 7 hours. All right, well,
so that's like literally.
shallower was not.
That was shallower.
That was 32 to 35 feet.
All we need to know is we're not going back to that spot. Good, not great.
Right.
If you can half ounce an hour.
Can you write that on the map?